I don't know, man. What do you think?
I don't know. Well, actually, you got to check all the new trailers for all the video games and movies from DC Comics that are coming out. They did their whole release schedule, Hickamadoo thing online. They showed all the stuff. Some of them pretty dope. The Black Adam movie with The Rock. Oh my God.
I'm kind of in between, man. I feel like I need to see a little bit more footage, and then
Well, they released a footage that's like the first minute of you seeing The Rock, like, or seeing Black Adam appear on screen for like the first time of the movie or whatever. It's supposed to be like during the opening, and like I would probably pick him over Superman. Yeah,
that's pretty bold. That's pretty bold, dude.
He's pretty bold. So, anyways, our first question, our only question of this episode, that I'm going to ask to Mr. Waters, myself.
Okay. Dude, that was a plot twist. All right.
What do I want to eat tonight?
Are you seriously asking what do you want to eat tonight?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was about to say, what?
No. My question is, do you think you could live off in the wilderness, completely cut off from society?
Yes and no. So let me clarify the question.
Yes.
Like, if you were to drop me off in the wilderness right now, as I am with my life experiences, probably not.
That's fair. Yeah.
I think as a human being, like, yeah, I could figure out how to become a survivalist and figure it out. But, yeah, right now, dude, I'd be screwed. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about this because I was watching a TV show, and I feel like the big test is the first 2 weeks, because like that's like you can go what, like 7-8 days without food, right?
I think you can go, maybe it's something like that.
And then it's only like 4 days without water.
Yeah, it's like three
But
days.
in most, unless you're in the middle of the desert, water is fairly easy to find, because if you know what you're doing, all you got to do is just dig far enough, and you'll find groundwater. It's not going to be the best thing for you, but it's going to be drinkable.
Knowing my luck, dude, first sip, got an amoeba going straight to the brain.
But the hardest part obviously would be finding food. But even if you could find something like some kind of fruit, because I mean, you know, like if you could just get dropped off in like the American wilderness, you'll probably find like an apple tree or somewhere out there.
Johnny Appleseed laid it down.
Of course he did. I mean, he was a real person. He was John Chapman, part of the family. Did you know that was Johnny Appleseed's real name, John Chapman?
No.
Oh, history lesson for you there.
Learn something new every day.
But I mean, you could also probably find like a pear tree. I mean, pears aren't delicious, but they're very much edible. They're just like a tasteless apple, basically. Pretty sure you could probably find.
I feel like you're just running through all the fruits that are on Animal Crossing. You're just gonna go up to a tree and shake it.
No, but I don't know. I feel like if you can find food, it's just gonna matter after that 2 weeks, because I think in most places it would be obviously difficult because you're stranded, but like it wouldn't be too hard to find something to eat. And as long as you can find enough of it to last you 2 weeks, then I think that's when the real test begins. Because that's when you're really going to be scared. Because obviously, like, if you've been in somewhere wilderness for 2 weeks, and there's obviously, like, probably no real chance of getting back.
Yeah, that was about to be my question. Like, when you say survive in the wilderness, what's the objective? Just, like, make it back to society, or just see how long you can go?
I'm like a little bit of both. Kind of where I'm getting at this question is more of like, do you think you could really just become a man of the woods and just like even if you weren't just like stranded somewhere, do you think you could just say, you know, fuck it all and go off into the woods and just, you know, kill deer, kill a wild boar, and that be your meat for the night? You heat it up over a fire, you make yourself a lean-to with some pine trees. You think you could just do that for the rest of your life? Like, obviously it would suck, of course, but I mean, like, you know, that's a whole other question. Would you even be in the mindset to do that? But
dude, sometimes I struggle with putting Hot Pockets in on the right side, so that's a lot of steps.
I'm thinking, is it more of like, do you think you could physically do it?
So if I had the knowledge, I had the experience base, do I think I could, like, physically grit being out there and living that lifestyle? Yes. Yeah. I don't... maybe I have to think about that a little bit. I think I could, but you're isolated and you're doing, like, you're surviving, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how long.
How long do you think you could last? If you were put out in like the middle of trying to think of like a good like the Canadian wilderness. Somewhere it's not like too super exotic where you wouldn't know what the hell to do. Like I'm not putting you out in the rainforest or the Amazon or anything like that. Like just the Canadian wilderness, it's North America. You're still going to have the same animals, the same flora and fauna.
I think.
Look at me using big words.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty impressive. Just put on a robe, right? Your brain opens. I think it would depend on like how bad I want it, dude. I'd have to have a compelling
That's true.
why as to the reason that I would want to go on and survive, right?
Well, what if you just don't have a choice? What if you just became homeless? And it's just like, do I just become a homeless man who just crashes under shelter, or do I just say screw it and go out in the woods and just live my life? If I'm already going to be away from society, why as well just take the next step?
Dude, rural homelessness. That's hardcore.
I don't even know. Is that? I mean, that's obviously got to be a thing, but that's obviously not a popular thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I could probably survive as long as I can find food, some sort of food source. I think I could go 3 weeks before I'm really in a panic. Because you can remember, I'm an Eagle Scout. Well, it's not like legitimately trying to brag, but I do have enough experience that I know how like first night I wouldn't worry is what I'm trying to say. Like if I found myself stranded, first night I'm not worrying. Second night I might have a panic attack. But first night I'm okay. I'm like, all right, I'm going to build myself a lean-to. I got enough fat on this body, so we're good. We're going to just eat ourselves for a few days until I can find some berries or a squirrel that I catch. And I'm good with archery, so I can make a bow.
Dude, I love how you brought this question up just so you could flex on your strengths. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I'm good with bows.
Well, I mean,
right, bro.
I'm trying to think of a question that I could have a stake in, though.
No, it's a good question. It's a really good question, and it's a good point. Like, I feel like you would be able to last a good bit.
And I mean, you already look like a caveman, so you're halfway there.
Tarzan, bro.
Well, you're halfway there, regardless of what pop culture character you want to choose yourself as.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, what do you think would go first? All right, because you would act like, I wouldn't stand a chance. I'd be a couple of days and I'd be lost if I just kind of fall over. But if you're going out there to survive, what would give out first? Like your capacity to get food in your body or your mentality of isolation? Like what would break you?
That's a very good question. Like I said, well, as long as within the first like 4 days I have found food and water, I won't be stressing too much. I feel like at that point probably the isolation would take in like the effect of that more so than the food and water. But I mean, obviously the food and water is going to take in quicker in just the grand scheme of things, only because you only have a certain amount of time before you need that. Like, I mean, the mental, whether the isolation, that just goes down to your own mental capacity for being alone. And I think I succeed with flying colors. I'm alone a lot.
Yep. A lot of solo movies for you, Bucko.
Bunch of rom-com and chick flicks. Makes me feel happy. Yeah, don't judge me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I left you speechless with that one.
I know, man. Just the range of emotions talking about survival and the rom-coms.
Now, if we talking desert, I'm dead in a day. I'm not lasting in a desert. There's no possible way to last in a desert.
If John Wick can do it, just getting thrown out there in a suit, dude.
Oh my god.
It's possible. You just need like some guy with a tent to be conveniently placed in the middle of it.
Yeah.
a couple SUVs and take you out.
I think I wouldn't be able to survive in like the Russian wilderness either. That'd be too rough. The Germans couldn't do it. I can't do it. You'd be screwed. Yeah. I think my best chance of survival is if I'm stranded out in my backyard. and I just lost my keys. Can't get in the house.
Dude, that's a tragic story.
The classic lost the keys. I've done
Yeah.
that way too many times. I lost my keys and I lost my spare keys to the house one time. I had to call a locksmith.
That's embarrassing, dude.
Yeah, because I had I didn't lose them. What happened was I had the spare house keys were already in the house, and I was at my parents' house with my keys because I drove there, and then I walked out of their house, locked the door, and realized I didn't have my car keys. So I was like, I'm at my parents' house with no way to get in my car.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had my phone in my pocket. I'd have been real screwed.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
You know me. I consistently lose my keys,
Keys,
wallet, phone.
wallet.
But I'm trained, dude. I have an instinct to. I know where they're at now, dude. It's
Yeah.
like it's gonna be in that pocket of the couch. And 9 times out of 10,
It's in the pocket of the
couch. You gotta trust your instincts.
Oh man, we have a visitor. We have a visitor. Well, this has been a good adventure down the rabbit hole of our minds. And I'm glad to get your 2 cents on how you think you could survive in the wilderness. I don't think you'd fare well,
I don't think so either, dude. And
but I really don't think I would either, honestly. I mean, I was boasting a little bit with being an Eagle Scout, but I wouldn't fare well. I'm gone in 4 days. 4 days. 4
days?
days tops, yeah.
yeah,
I'd probably get eaten by a bear.
I mean, that's an accomplishment. That's probably like more than most people,
Yeah. Or like my luck, actually a mythological creature would eat me.
dude.
Like something that doesn't. I would just get attacked by Bigfoot. I would get raped by Bigfoot in the woods. That's how it happened to me. That would be the end of my story. And that's the end of this podcast.
Bye.